So you may be asking yourself, so why don't I just use ChatGPT? It can remember things for me, right? It has a large language model. Yes, but it doesn't know anything about your specific memories. And Athena is trained specifically to adapt to your needs, your memories, and your request. And this is typically done through a process called RAG, or Retrieval Augmented Generation. So before Athena answers your question, the system retrieves the most relevant memories from your own database and then injects them into the AI's context window, which is the short-term memory it can see right now. Athena then answers from that retrieved context, not just from general training. That's why answers are grounded in what you actually saved and are far less likely to hallucinate or drift, as it's called. Okay, so how does this work? This summary is to show the response pipeline that Athena uses. So in step one, we have intent detection. So before doing anything else, the app checks, is this a remember request, something that I should remember? Is this a recall request, something that I should retrieve? Or is it just a chat request? So each intent will take a different path depending on the kind. So memory retrieval, which is used for the recall and the chat, our hybrid search system described in chapter 6 runs against your memories to find the most relevant ones for this question. The top results are collected as the context. And how is this set up and put together? In context assembly, the retrieved memories are formatted into structured blocks and injected into the AI's prompt alongside your question. So the model sees your question plus your relevant memories plus the system instructions on how to behave. The AI generates a grounded answer. And this is important because a grounded answer is an attempt to show you the confidence that Athena might have had or not have when she responds. The system prompt instructs it to answer from the provided memories. It will cite which ones was used, and it will even admit when the context is not sufficient. So this process of called citation verification helps the AI when it responds and the app working together with her, that the app can verify that the memories Athena cited in her answer actually exist in the retrieved set. If she invented the citation, the grounded in cards are hidden and a fallback message shows. So also, we don't have to make the user wait for the full response. It starts streaming right away with the help of the Vercel AI SDK or software development kit. Very powerful tool. Make use of that when you build AI agents. So let's review how the context window, the system prompt, and hallucination management and streaming all makes this work together. So the context window is the maximum amount of text an AI can see at once. You can think of it as the AI's short-term memory. So RAG works by filling part of the context window with your retrieved memories before asking the AI to respond. Now, what the users don't see is that there's some hidden instructions that send to the AI with every request before the user's message. Athena's system prompt defines a personality, rules about citing memories, how to handle greetings, and guardrails against going off topic. When I was building it, and the first time I spoke to Athena to test her, is she awake, so to speak, she didn't greet me, and that felt very rude. So I made sure that she does a little bit of human-friendly greeting in the beginning, but not so much that it takes up the allowed context or tokens that she can use to respond. So you have to balance that between performance and personality and good answers. So when an AI confidently states something is false, we call it hallucination and sometimes drift. You will see in all the popular chatbots that it says AI can make mistakes. This is what they mean. So grounded RAG dramatically reduces hallucination because the AI is answering from your actual notes, not inventing from training data. Training data has a cutoff. Many people don't realize this, but every large language model out there has only the knowledge that it gained until the training stopped, which can be a couple of months from the present date. So if that is too far in the past and you still use the model in general terms, you can give it tools like search the internet to see what is the latest news. which then can answer questions not just based on training, but also web search. So streaming is the process of sending the AI response word by word to the browser as it's generated, instead of waiting for the full reply. Some users might think nothing is happening, so it starts responding as soon as possible. Keep in mind that free models that we use in this demo take typically a little bit longer to respond, but professional paid models will respond pretty quickly. Makes the interface feel fast and responsive. A ChatGPT style typing effect is produced, and the user can see something is happening and the response is coming. Just like when you see a text message when somebody is responding before you read the response. So why should you start with OpenRouter instead of direct AI APIs when the direct professional ones are better? Well, the simple reason is they cost more. There's a reason. So the app can use the best pre-models for enrichment, a powerful model for Athena chat, and a fast embedding model for search, all with one integration. So even when you use OpenRouter on paid models, you can use the specialized model for the right purpose. And switching these modes requires only a configuration change, not code changes. So how Athena is kept honest? There's three mechanisms that prevent Athena from making things up. Number one, retrieved memory injection. She's told to answer from the provided context. Number two, citation verification. The app checks her cited sources actually exist. And number three, intent first routing. Remember, commands bypass the AI entirely and go straight to a database write. So the key difference between useful AI features and reliability is grounding. Always design your AI layer to pull from real data, verify the output, and fail gracefully when the data is not there. I don't know is still a better answer than a confident lie.